In the soft glow of his computer screen, Takuma Sakamoto, a famous player of the Memoir Cross Reverie, suddenly found himself pulled from the digital game and thrown into a whole new world. To his surprise, he now was the Demon Lord Diablo, the character he had mastered in the game. Confused and disoriented, he met his summoners, Shera, an elegant elf, and Rem, a cat-like girl. The two summoners argued fiercely about who was to blame for bringing him into this strange world. Caught in the middle of their dispute, Takuma, a self-proclaimed shut-in gamer, felt awkward around the opposite sex. Quickly adapting, he took on the name Diablo, fully embracing the persona of his in-game character. Unexpectedly, Shara and Rayam found themselves with slave collars as their misguided attempt to control him backfired when a magical ring reflected their spell onto themselves. Realizing they were all bound by these collars, the trio decided to team up until they could find a way to break free. Their journey brought them to Falter City, where financial constraints forced them to share a modest room with a single bed. Diablo, lost in his thoughts about their situation, encountered Celestine, the mysterious head of the Mages Association, intrigued by the visible slave collars. Celestine joined them in the inn's cafeteria, adding a new dynamic to their group. After Celestine promised to look into a way to break the enslavement spell, Diablo, being bold as usual, demanded to know her true intentions. This got him a scolding from Gallic, one of Celestine's followers. Despite feeling uneasy, Diablo stood his ground. Celestine then revealed her actual goal, convincing Rem to go back to the Mages Association. However, Rem firmly refused, emphasizing her desire for independence. Once Celestine left for the night, Diablo sensed there was something profound about Rem. Alone in their room, he used a unique method to extract her closely guarded secret. The soul of the demon lord Krebscom dwelled within her. This revelation, tied to a family sealing passed down from Rem's late mother, created a new alliance between Diablo and Rem, as he pledged to help her separate from Krebscom's soul. In the quiet aftermath, Diablo reflected on the seriousness of their situation. Meanwhile, a tipsy Gallic sought revenge for their earlier disagreement. Summoning a powerful salamander, he underestimated Diablo, claiming to be level 30. However, Diablo, with a staggering level of 150, effortlessly destroyed the fiery creature with a powerful explosion spell. At dawn, Diablo's bed became an unexpected scene, with the trio waking up to the consequences of their unique situation. Exploring this unfamiliar world, they found a clear divide between humans and demi-humans. Intrigued by the strength dynamics in this realm, Diablo questioned if levels determined one's abilities. Rem confirmed this, revealing her level as 40. Shera, a level 30 summoner, was dissatisfied. When Diablo reached for a magical mirror at the Adventurers Guild, it caused a stir, drawing the attention of Sylvie, the guild master. Sylvie disclosed that Diablo's level surpassed measurement, posing a challenge in finding suitable tasks for his extraordinary abilities. Motivated by the promise of payment, Diablo willingly joined the guild, taking on their first mission from Sylvie, to slay a Madara snake in the ominous man-eating woods and retrieve its eyes for the Mages Association. On their way to the woods, Diablo, tired of the journey, suggested a teleportation spell, only to learn that such magic didn't exist here. After a laborious 5-hour trek, they finally reached their destination, sensing a hidden presence in the trees. Thinking it might be a trap, Diablo unleashed his powerful burst ring, setting the woods ablaze and revealing a group of elves, led by Celsior. She claimed they were there to rescue Shera, unveiling Shera's true identity as the princess of the Elven Kingdom Greenwood. Despite the elves' efforts, Diablo questioned why they had issued a quest under the Mages Association. Celsior remained evasive, but Diablo figured out Gallic's role in orchestrating the plot. Shera, firmly rejecting Celsior's proposal, explained that going back would mean an unwanted marriage with her brother. In an attempt to take Shera, Celsior attacked Diablo with a Tempest arrow, only to witness its complete failure. Unimpressed, Diablo retaliated with a Phrygia, freezing the entire area. Gallic reappeared, exposed as the mastermind, and escaped. Shara instructed the elves to inform her brother she wouldn't be returning, and with the situation settled, they'd return to the inn. During a heartfelt conversation between Diablo and Shara, Rem interrupted their moment. Later, the trio visited Sylvie again, receiving the simple quest requested by Celestine. Seeing it as Celestine's way of indirectly helping her, Rem chose to stay behind while Diablo and Shara took on the mission, which involved delivering refreshments to the bridge of Oleg. Before leaving, Emil, who considered himself the guild's strongest warrior, confronted Diablo, thinking he had enslaved Shara and Rem. A brief, one-sided duel followed, with Diablo easily knocking Emil out with a single punch. Once the misunderstanding was cleared up, Diablo and Shara headed to the bridge of Oleg. There, soldiers mistook Diablo for a fallen. Boris, among the soldiers, recognized Diablo as the horned demon talked about in town. Boris warned them of a looming threat, an army of over 100 fallen creatures that, unknown to Diablo, were gathering to resurrect Krebscom. Worried for Rem's safety, Diablo volunteered to stay behind and defend against the impending invasion. Meanwhile, in the city, Rem received a visit from Celestine, who revealed that Gallic had been discharged from the Mages Association for his recent actions. In a shocking turn of events, Gallic appeared, desperate to avoid expulsion. When Celestine refused his plea, Gallic resorted to stabbing himself with a demonic dagger, transforming into the fallen Gregor. Back at the city, Diablo continued battling the fallen invaders. After overcoming half the army, he faced Igligard, the commander of the fallen, estimating her to be around level 80. Despite Igligard's sacrificial charge, Diablo remained resilient, taunting her to showcase the vast difference in their power. As the battle raged on, Boris interrupted, notifying Diablo that the city had been invaded and Celestine and Rem were under attack. With a stern warning to Igligard, he began casting a grand magic spell. Despite his advice to withdraw, Igligard defiantly stood her ground. Diablo unleashed White Nova, a cataclysmic spell that obliterated everything in its path. To everyone's astonishment, Igligard survived, albeit severely wounded. With no other options, Diablo tried teleportation magic, successfully bringing himself and Shara back to the besieged city. Upon their arrival, Diablo discovered the city in ruins, the fallen having overwhelmed the adventurers. Emil, barely on his feet, received Diablo's thanks for his courageous endeavors. Facing Gregor, Diablo adeptly parried the fallen's attacks with his enchanted ring. Trapped and begging for mercy, Gregor faced Diablo's unwavering judgment, banished to the Shadow Realm. As the battle concluded, Shara gratefully embraced Diablo, and Rem, expressing her thanks, took his hand. Trying to stay composed, Diablo insisted that his help to Rem was merely because of her status as his slave. A solemn funeral was held for the fallen adventurers, and Diablo realized that, unlike in the game, death in this world was irreversible. 10 days after the devastating attack, Shara and Rem found themselves once again competing for Diablo's attention. Sylvia, appearing in their room, presented another quest. She disclosed that the city's lord had received an ultimatum from the elves: surrender Shara within 10 days or face the threat of war. To prevent the impending conflict, Sylvie assigned Diablo the task of stopping the war from erupting.